This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
One of the more difficult decisions that I've had to make is, do I want to give Swords and Sorcery a second chance? I have fully painted this entire set. Immortal Souls, I have that is completely painted, and I think I painted the Valerius lair with the dragon. I painted all that. Darkness Falls, I think I painted, and I never even opened up Ancient Chronicles, and I believe there's one more over here. I just want to be 100% sure. And I miss. Oh yes, there is another box set. And it's right there that I haven't even messed with. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to leave the thing with. And my problem always was that I remember playing this at Origins some years back when it originally came out, and we were pretty excited about it. It was Sam Healy, when we were with the Dice Tower. Boy, that was a long time ago. And we spent... Somebody had knew the game. I think one of the designers was there, or somebody from Ares, and they, of course, because it was Sam, they wanted to give him a copy of it so he could actually play it. And we played it on that Saturday night, and because we had the guys show us how to play, and oh my God, it dragged. But there was something about it that we really liked at the time. You didn't have as many really big dungeon crawls the way you do now, and I remember playing it, and it kind of got where it was dragging a little bit just to do the one mission. I think it took us like 2.5 hours, and we chalked it up pretty much to trying to learn the game, because there's a lot of iconography on the dice that you've got to know and match things up in order to get your character kind of really going. And I struggle with this game because a couple of reasons. I want to go down and just show you some of the things. It really is a beautiful game, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk more about my struggles, my thoughts, where I want to go, if I want to keep this in my collection, if I should keep it in my collection, and so forth and so on. Or are there so many other great dungeon crawls that I really don't need this? And that's where I'm kind of wondering. So let's go down the table. Just take a look at some of the beautiful miniatures, because they do have some beautiful miniatures, and some of the things I was messing with as well. So let's go down, check it out, and then we'll check this out on the other side. So with this, it's some of the most beautiful orcs I ever seen. I started rebasing these because I just thought it kind of mixed with some of the tiles that are out there. So I really wanted to mix it up. And you can see these orcs are absolutely just beautiful. The monsters are just fantastic. You know what I mean? And it really kind of sets you into... I gotta glue this guy back onto a base. I cut him off, and of course, they are a little bendy, okay, but you can live with it. You know what I mean? But beautiful miniatures with great detail. As a matter of fact, this guy here, I have a second of him. There he is, and you can see that they're a little bendy if you get them the wrong way. Some of the gnolls, this shaman, of course, would be great for Warhammer Quest. The Savage Orc Quest that we have might be good. Some of the gnolls and stuff like that. And your heroes just really just stand. This is my boy right here. Nothing I love more than a paladin. Well, what a crooked sword. Just beautiful miniatures. You can't argue that point. The cards really just, there's a couple of different looks at them, as you can see. he's got his twin axe, and how, you know, what dice you're going to use, the red, the blue, the so forth and so on. And there's just so much iconography that you really have to understand to really go with this. One of the things that really stand out in this game is the just the absolute you know, beauty in, you know, the shaman. There he is. You know, the artwork and everything else like that really sucks you in. These dice, you know, they have a lot of different symbols on them that you know, mean for hits and magic and being able to use different abilities and things like that, which is always very interesting. My thing is this a game that I'm going to keep, and is there better dungeon crawls out there? A lot of people had a lot of frustration with what I'm going to show you next, and I'm just trying to get this stuff out of the way so we can talk a little bit more about it. There we go. Okay, is this rule book. Okay, I mean, this is a tough one. This is there's a lot going on in this bad boy. Okay, and you're talking about 40 pages of just rules. You know, from the AI, and nobody really dies. They just kind of get knocked out. I mean, you know, there's a certain amount of things depending on the thing, and it almost has kind of a descent feel to it in some ways. I'd rather see if, you know, you get killed, death becoming a ghost soul. See, and then you can get resurrected, which is a big thing. And you know, for me, that takes a little bit away from it. The soul gems, the dials, they're really kind of neat, but you know, you're kind of timed in this a bit, and you know, I just wonder if it's something I should revisit. You know, your table setup, you know, kind of showing you what's going on, you know, without breaking everything out. You know, your little dungeon here, you don't move by squares, you move by sections, which is always very interesting. You know, certain chests that you're going to run into, certain enemies that you're going to run into, okay, and dealing with that and trying to better yourself. You're going to have certain types of equipment. You'll be able to use it and then, you know, exhaust it and then unexhausted. You'll have certain things on each side of you and above here that you'll be able to plug in. And then, of course, there are going to be certain things that you're going to be able to... This dial really plays a big part, if I remember correctly, okay, in how things work. And, you know, I like it. I just wonder if it's good enough for me to keep, you know, especially since I put all that time painting into it, and maybe just giving it one more go. You've got your gem, okay, gem side up, you're going to be able to do certain things. Gem side down, well, guess what, you're not, you know, it means you've already acted, okay. Your battle phase, your time phase, you know, time is going to go by. You've got to keep moving, and then, you know, here we go. We've got all kinds of different heroes of Swords and Sorcery that you can go about and create and deal with. And I really like what I did with them, and how I play it out. And you know, it just, I think it deserves another visit, maybe, before I make a decision, before it goes, to see if it should stay. Different types of armors. I mean, there's plenty of stuff for it. They give you a nice little sheet here, of course, which is going to kind of, you know, talk about your soul points, your game sequence, where you start your time phase, then your battle phase, and then your event phase, which is just a real blast, okay, and how that turns around. And then you go up to, which basically is your time phase, which is your cleanup phase, how the battlefield and the enemies react, okay. Some of the iconography that you're going to need to know, you know, the poison, the blind, the slow, the stun, the bleeding, the exhaust, hindrances, and things like that and stuff. We talked about the rule book, and then of course you have your storybook, okay, which is going to set you up to tell the story, which is it's a good solid story. You know, you're going to do your prologue, okay, which is your very first quest, and it kind of does a good job. It's a standalone quest, and it's going to kind of walk you through some of the mechanics and stuff like that. But of course, things get a lot more complicated, and you're going to have your book of secrets, because this is going to, when certain events are going to happen, you're going to have to roll on dice to determine what happens, and so forth and so on. And again, like I said, there is a ton of iconography, and this book of secrets is kind of the motivating factor here that continues your story, and then your different acts, you know, as you're going through this. And, well, you only get one act in this one, and boy, a lot of people funded this back in the day. And then finally, the Fang's Right, which is going to be your last. And they're not massive areas that you have to deal with. It's not a massive imprint. Taking care of your character is a massive imprint, but pretty much this is, you know, it's not something that you're going to run into. Well, I mean, this is a little bit bigger, but a lot of these are usually contained pretty good. And then you're going to build your enemy decks, which is yeah, really a lot of fun. And, you know, where you run into, you know, certain stories and things like that, which is very well put together. Sometimes it feels like it's bogged down a bit. But we're going to talk more about this up top. I just kind of wanted to show you some of the figures and stuff that I had for this one, and it sits in my collection here, and I'm wondering, do I give it a second chance or do I let it go? And that's where I'm battling right now. Maybe a good revisit will determine what I need to do and where I need to go with this. So this is one of those games that I really want to love, because I love the figures. I love what it does, the story wise. The tiles are beautiful. There's a lot of things that are very, very beautiful about this game. You know, especially the dragon one. I really like the dragon, or Hydra, whatever you want to call them, and all the different types of things that go with that. And I want to love this beyond human belief, but you know, there's just part of me that goes, ugh, it's so bogged down a little bit, and I wonder, you know, maybe I just didn't give it a fair shake, or are there so many better things out there? Now, there is a rabid fan base for this, and either you really love this game or you hate this game. There's no in between, and that's what I've seemed to notice out there. And I just wonder, you know, where do I go with this? And I'm sorry, I'm looking over at the box. And you know, where do I take this? Should I give it a second go and really just kind of really give it put everything into it before I decide to unload a ton of stuff here? Or do I just say, you know something, there's so many better things out there? And I would love to hear what you feel about this game and what you take from it. Is it a game that seems kind of bogged down with a lot of just a lot of little things that make it kind of really slow? Or do you like that? Do you like those certain things about this, and how it kind of grinds? I would love to hear what you say. Put it in the comments and let me know what your feelings are about Swords and Sorcery. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob with a pretty tough decision. So we're gonna figure this out and take it from there. Until next time, we'll see you soon, everybody.